Good day, YouTubers. Time for some royal tea. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. As always, this reading is for entertainment only. It is a psychic and intuitive reading that may involve some speculation. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. This lovely woman, Lizzie Cundy, she is a TV personality in Britain. So if you're in America, you may not have previously heard of her. Anyway, she just came out with a book called Tales from the Red Carpet, where she details some of her interactions with Meghan Markle, who is now very famous. And so, I've been waiting anxiously for Samantha's book, and it's not come out. And I did a reading, and it looks like the palace they are doing everything they can to stop Samantha's book coming out. But because of social media and the disaggregated form that media and information has now taken very recently, there's so many ways for her to get the information out. Apparently they're applying a lot of pressure to Samantha. But here, I think that this book, Tales from the Red Carpet, just came out of nowhere. They weren't expecting this, and Meghan was not the focus of this book. She was just part of it. Okay, so here's the latest scandal. Meghan's mission to be Made in Chelsea. Made in Chelsea is a TV show that was airing in Britain. Thought hooking Harry was a happy coincidence? Question. Meghan's PR advisors and C-list friends reveal it all began with plans to bag a Brit and to star in a posh reality TV show. That show was the one I just mentioned. Okay, let's read here. Okay, this is Lizzie Cundy. I can reveal that Meghan spoke of plans to quit Suits and start a new life in London, hoping to find an upper crust boyfriend from the Made in Chelsea set and possibly even become a fixture on the show. So she wanted to join the Made in Chelsea show and have a famous British boyfriend. Television presenter Lizzie Cundy, who was friends with her at the time, said, quote, she told me she wanted to be on an English reality TV show and that she wanted an English boyfriend. She set her sights on Made in Chelsea and worked hard to get in with that crowd. She said that she could only be in Suits for so long and that Hollywood was a really brutal place. She had not made a breakthrough and said she would feel at home in London. Quote, that actually says a lot about Meghan, positive and negative. She hustles, and she's very pragmatic and quite intelligent. She's not hoping and waiting against all hope for her breakthrough. She's very pragmatic. Meghan made 2 visits to London in 2013 and 2016, and both appear to have been networking exercises. By the time of her first trip, she had 2 advisors helping her with what she called hustle, turning her little bit of fame into a little bit more. This is how she became Duchess of Sussex. One of them was Neil Ransom of the talent agency Insanity Group. He got in touch with people in the media, including journalist Katie Hind, at that time working for the Sunday People newspaper, and said that he was desperate to get some publicity for Meghan. I'm told Ransom was all but begging journalists to come out to meet Meghan, who was pretty much completely unknown and newly divorced from her husband, Trevor Engelson. So she was basically divorced from Engelson about 3 months at that point, and this is prior to her meeting Harry. I want to read one more thing, and then we'll get into it. Okay, here's another quote from Cundy. Meghan Markle spent most of the past 20 years, I think this is from Cundy, she spent most of the past 20 years cozying up to people until they served no more use to her, then airbrushing them out of her life without so much as a goodbye loser. I know because I was one of them. I think that's from Cundy. Okay, and basically Cundy was matchmaking for her. And then Meghan ghosted Cundy again. Okay, and Engelson, who she divorced, she basically just put her wedding ring, or the gold band only. She probably kept the engagement ring, which would be very expensive. She just put the wedding band in an envelope and sent it back to Engelson without saying anything. And that's the ultimate ghosting. Okay, so I've not been able to address, Engelson recently got married. I wonder how he's feeling about her. Okay, so we're going to look at Meghan and Lizzie Cundy. She was matching Meghan with various guys. X Factor winner Matt Cardle, Ashley Cole, a famous footballer, Michael Bublé, and Meghan just literally said, I want to marry a famous British man. Okay, she hustles. So let's look at Meghan and Meghan and Lizzie Cundy and Meghan. How much, was there any emotional connection there? Were they just using each other? She's saying she was ghosted. Meghan did ghost her, and dropped her like a hot potato after she was done with her. Was there any emotional content there? Were they just using each other? Cundy goes on to say that there's a lot of fake people in Hollywood. It's really hard to tell. Some people are nice and real, and others are really fake and evil. I know this personally. I know some of these people. Some of them are just straight up Satanists. But that's true in any of these high level people. Okay, oh wow. Meghan always gets the 10 hearts. Always. She's always playing all the emotion cards. Okay. So, what was their relationship? Okay. Let's look at Cundy first, because Cundy's complaining about being ghosted. Okay, Piers Morgan was ghosted. And literally the night that Meghan met with Harry and their relationship kicked off, and probably they slept together. We don't know this. We could always ask. But that very night, Meghan was having a drink with Piers Morgan, and now Piers Morgan is like a jilted lover. I mean, he's really angry. So that suggests that Piers Morgan had some emotional connection to Meghan and felt that it was broken. So, did Cundy and Meghan, was this just business, or did they have any emotional connection? Okay, because Meghan is described as someone who's very warm and witty and appealing. Okay, very warm, very witty, very appealing. Okay, and that's, how she rose in stardom. That's very important. Okay, and we're actually going to see that over here. Okay, so what's going on with Cundy? Player, actress, superficial presentation, focused, wants one thing, that's the player. Roadblock. Okay, the only heart here is fence sitter. 2 5s, very changeable. 5s are changed. 10 and 11, 21, 6 hearts. So the relationship, she's not engaging her feelings. She just wants to see what kind of opportunities will come out of this for her. Player is also a money card. The player is young, and you can see this on the card. The player is young, the player has money, the player is new. They're very temporary. They're here and they're gone. They're going to do their one thing. They're going to make their buck, and they're going to walk away, and you're not going to see them again. They're going to ghost you. Okay, so Was Cundy emotionally involved with Meghan? You know, oh, I'm helping you. Oh, I really like you. Oh, you're such a great girl. No. She has no emotional involvement. She's a user. She's definitely using Meghan. This is all for her benefit. She just wants to see what's going on, and she's completely separated from her emotions. This is just, what can I get out of this? Player, fence sitter. What can I get out of this? Says Cundy. And it's six hearts. What can I get out of this relationship? And I have no feelings about it at all. Okay, so her complaining about being ghosted, that's just crocodile tears. She wanted more. She wanted more benefits for herself. She had no emotional connection to Meghan. So what she did for Meghan, setting her up, that's kind of the business. That's the business. She's capitalizing people. She's capitalizing on people. And she's making opportunities for herself by helping Meghan. I wash your back. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's what she was doing. So no emotional involvement. What's going on with Meghan? She's playing all the emotional cards. Roses, cup overflowing, very sweet, very engaging, very touchy, very feely, very, very helpless and engaging. Very sweet and very engaging, very emotional. But right here in the middle, we have incubus, succubus. Sixes are all relationships. This is a very selfish relationship. Okay, and this adds 19, 5 clubs, crossroads, speaking with a forked tongue, and finding her way on the road. This way, that way. Okay, this is all just very superficial. Meghan, okay, and this is how Meghan got what she got. She's very superficial. She's very engaging. She's very touchy-feely. You know, she's always touching Harry. And people are starting to hate this. I hate it because I know it's control. Okay, that's what she's doing. She's always playing the emotional card. She's always playing the victim. She's very sweet, very helpless, very, very feminine and small. That's what she's doing, and it's pure selfishness. So on both sides, they're both using each other. They were both using each other. Meghan presented better. Okay, and because of that, Meghan rose higher. Meghan presented better. And I guarantee you this is what she did to Piers Morgan. And we've looked at Piers Morgan. And she's just very engaging, very sexy, very beautiful. And she's going to use all of her feminine wiles to get what she wants. And that's how Meghan presents. Very emotionally, and really uses her feminine, her beauty and her wit and her intelligence. And she feels very, very personal to you. But she's quite selfish. She's not feeling you. Okay, she's not really connecting to you. Okay, so the palace required Meghan. Meghan is constantly being accused of ghosting everybody. Okay, she just drops people like a hot potato. Okay, and so let's look at Meghan and the Crown. Okay, because this lady says, Lizzie Cundy says, that Meghan was probably required to cut all ties, especially media. Okay, and so maybe Piers Morgan is just, the lady doth protest too much. Piers Morgan is protesting too much because Meghan really had no choice. So is it Meghan who just cuts all these ties and is really cold-hearted and has no feelings because the incubus succubus is absolutely selfish? Okay, 9 clubs fell out. Or is it more like the Crown? Okay, so I want to see the influence of the Crown, and then I want to see Meghan. Is it really the Crown just like orders her to cut all these ties? Or is Meghan just, you know, cold-hearted, selfish, and maybe kind of socially a little bit, as beautiful and intelligent as she is, maybe she's a little bit socially awkward. Okay, just doesn't really know how to handle people. Crown and Meghan. Who's requiring all the cutting of ties? Well, there's the cutting card. Okay, and there's 9 clubs fell out. Gotta write my questions down. Okay, Lizzie, Cundy, and Meghan. Cut ties, Crown, Meghan. Okay, so who's the tie cutter? The executioner, this cuts the tie. This is Meghan over here because she's sitting on this side. Star of Bethlehem, this is the direction. They followed the Star of Bethlehem to the Christ child. Okay, the Magi did. And mustard seed, messages, cutting the messages, ghosting, cutting the messages and the positive movement. And this is 21 6 hearts. Meghan is cutting, she's the cutter of the relationships. She's the executioner. She just cuts people off, and that's her way. That is her way. This is Meghan. This is her style. Once she's done with you, she just doesn't need you anymore and just cuts you off and forgets that you exist. She airbrushes you out of her life, and that's the quote. She just simply airbrushes you out of her life. Okay, the Crown. Did the Crown say to Meghan, no, you have to cut all these people off? Okay, so Meghan, this is how Meghan acts already. Snake, crossroads, and butterfly. Butterfly is very public. It is the public image and what is said publicly. They really have to control the public image. Very important. Snake lies in the grass and looks very far ahead into the future. Very plotting, very careful planning. Crossroads. Decisions. Okay, so 12 and 5 is 17, 5 hearts reacting. So 5s, they do demand that Meghan change and look into the future and how this will present to the world. Okay, because they live in the public eye. Everything they do, they live in the public eye. So all this privacy stuff, I want privacy with Archie. That's why it just doesn't make sense, because he's not getting privacy with Archie. Nobody's getting any privacy. It just creates more attention, okay, by demanding privacy and just showing some feet, football-sized feet. She just gets more and more and more attention, okay, and then the high tower pops out. So the Crown is saying you have to make all your decisions for what the public is going to see, and you have to really look carefully into the future. You have to be very cognizant of what people are going to see and what they're going to say about what they see, and you have to be very cognizant of who you're talking to and what that person might say. So, did the Crown say you have to cut these people off? No. They just said you have to be very careful. You can maintain these relationships. You can maintain a relationship with Piers Morgan. You can maintain a relationship with Lizzie Cundy and whomever. Okay, but you have to really look into the future, and you have to ask yourself, is this person going to do this? Is this person going to do that? And you need to think about what you're saying and the decisions you're making, because it's going to affect the public appearance and the entire royal family. Okay, so the royal family did not prohibit her. They did tell her to get off all this social media, which she didn't do. She has probably 20 anonymous social media accounts, and then her PR, they have all these social media accounts, and there's, so it's Meghan. This is Meghan's personality, and that's poor. That's not good. That's the wrong way to handle people, and she's creating enemies by being so harsh. Okay, so now there's this latest scandal, and you just can't keep the scandals down, and that's what I love about this. She's got tales from the red carpet, and I know the royal family was not expecting this. This came out of left field. Okay, everybody's watching Samantha, and then Lizzie Cundy goes and publishes this book. Is Harry losing trust in Meghan? Oh no, here's another scandal. Okay, it's just, the hits keep coming. Okay, is Harry losing trust in Meghan? I mean, it's just it's bad news after bad news, and they can't get ahead of it, and it's just really bad. Is Harry losing trust in Meghan? Okay, that's what I want to see. Is Harry losing trust in Meghan? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, because all this stuff has got to affect you. Heart, cornucopia, mother, 9 and 12, 21, 6 hearts. We get 6, everything is adding 6 hearts pretty much. And man, Harry is showing he's an honest man in everything. He wants the best for the mother and the relationship and everything. Okay, he's not showing any suspicion. He's not showing any hurt or betrayal. That's interesting. He is really showing fully, he's watching out for Meghan. Okay, and what I'm feeling is Meghan is not watching out for Harry. Meghan is just creating a lot of problems for Harry, and Harry is protecting Meghan and watching out for her. And that's an unequal relationship. She needs to watch out for him, just like he's watching out for her. And, you know, this sending him to confess to Oprah in front of the whole world, drug use and psychological problems, that's going to ruin Harry. That really bothers me. Okay, that's huge. That's like, you know, saying, hey, would you go pick up some milk? And there's a whole bunch of lions, you know, you tell them to go pick up milk in the lion's den. And I didn't know the lions would eat you. They just didn't feed for 3 days. You know, it's that kind of thing, sending her to Oprah. He's like a lamb to slaughter. So he's still, he's definitely protecting Meghan. He's not feeling like, wow, who did I marry? Okay, so Trevor Engelson, her ex-husband, just married. And he just married an heiress, Tracy Kurland. I want to know how she's feeling about Trevor. And I want to know how Trevor is feeling about her. Is she happy for Trevor? Like, congratulations, Trevor. You know, I'm glad everything worked out for you. Or, because this goes to personality. You know, is she happy for Trevor? Or is she like... And is Trevor happy for her? How does Trevor feel about her? How does she feel about Trevor? Let's put Trevor on this side because she's on the right. Let's put Trevor... How does Trevor feel about Meghan? How does Meghan feel about Trevor now that, you know, in this marriage? Is she happy for him? Because Trevor married very well, okay? He married an heiress, okay? And Trevor is working on a pilot about, you know, his ex-wife is married to a royal and they had a baby together and they're working on, there's conflicts with the custody and he's dealing with the royals, okay? So kind of from his own life, he doesn't feel like he's moved on completely, okay? And he's using his real experience from life. And that's kind of how fiction works. So how does Trevor feel about Meghan? Cross, permanent marriage. I'm asking, he just got married. Hand in hand, many people, and coffin. 10 and 7, 17, 5 hearts. 5 hearts is fence sitter. He's keeping his feelings to himself. She's now just somebody from the crowd. Okay, he is moved on from her. She's just somebody from the crowd. And he just keeps his feelings to himself and about the marriage. Keeps his feelings to himself about the marriage, and she's just someone from the crowd. Okay, so he's not angry at her. He's not angry at her, but it's over. It's really over for him. It's over. Coffin. It's over for him. Is she happy for him? He got married. He married well. Big change. Broken chalice. Strength. Okay, strength is a new rooting. 11 and 2, 13, 4 hearts. 4 hearts home. Big change. Okay, broken. He's no longer part of her life. She has just separated from him emotionally, okay? And two spades, 4 hearts, that's kind of like ghosting. You're no longer part of my life. Cut you out of my life, and everything has changed. This has changed. So both of them, okay, Meghan and Trevor, there's no emotions showing for either of them. 11 and 6, 5 hearts and 4 hearts. Okay, she has close association is broken. There's no good emotion cards. They're almost emotionless. He is stuffing his feelings. It's just over, and it's just over for him. For her, she is more breaking the... Okay, so that's just kind of interesting. It's just interesting. It gives us insight into Meghan's personality, and that's what we're trying to get. Okay, let's review here. Okay, because Cundy is coming out and saying, here's the quote, she spent most of the past 20 years cozying up to people until they served no more use to her than airbrushing them out of her life without so much as a goodbye loser. I know because I was one of them. Okay, she sounds hurt. Okay, was there any legit emotions? Okay, Meghan is very engaging, very touchy, very feminine. She's always playing on your emotions. Very sexy, very feminine, very soft. Okay, the roses and the 10 hearts, that's how she became. That's how she achieved her success. By being so engaging, so tactile, so, just sweet and like a feminine piece of candy, but it's all selfish. Okay, so Meghan's really good at giving the appearance of, being really friendly and really engaging and, to both men and women, because she did this to Lizzie Cundy, this famous TV presenter. Lizzie Cundy, this was all just business. Okay, she wanted to add contacts, and she was only helping Meghan to help herself. She's only helping Meghan's, only scratching Meghan's back so Meghan will help her in the future. The problem is Meghan drops people. After you help Meghan, it's just selfish. She doesn't help you back. And that's the violation of the contract. And I actually think that's why Piers is so upset. Piers helped Meghan a lot, and now it's Meghan's turn to help Piers. And it's just selfishness for her not to do that. Okay, I have to restart. Okay, next, did the palace require Meghan to cut ties? The cutting card, the executioner, is on Meghan's side. Meghan cuts ties, and this is literal ghosting. Executioner mustard seed cuts all the messages and all the progress going forward in the relationships. Meghan is a ghoster. She really is a ghoster. Okay, did the palace command her to cut ties? They did give instructions, and they said you have to be really wise about what you say to whom, and you have to think about what they're going to say and going forward, because this is going to affect you. Okay, they didn't tell her to cut ties. Meghan is a ghoster, and that's just not working out for her. She really needs to change that. Is Harry losing trust? It's just one bad thing after another. We were expecting Samantha's book. Instead, Lizzie Cundy came out, and this book is not about Meghan. It's Tales from the Red Carpet. There's a whole bunch of celebrities in there, and Meghan is just one of them. This came out of left field. Is Harry like, oh no, she's accusing me of drug use, psychological issues, all kinds of crazy things, and look at what she's doing. No, Harry is not losing trust. He is a very honest man, protecting Meghan in every possible way he can. It's really admirable, but maybe a little foolish that he's not treating Meghan a bit more the way that Meghan is treating him, because I feel that the way that Meghan is treating Harry is like really dangerous, really unfair and dangerous, and she's like not on his side. And that's what upsets me, okay? And the Oprah thing really speaks to me, that he's going to talk about drug use and all that stuff. That's such a terrible decision, and I know she's getting him to do that, and that's sending him into the lion's den. That's just an innocent sheep to slaughter, and it can completely destroy Harry. So she's not watching out for his back. She's not watching his back. He's watching her back, and that's bad. That's a bad relationship. Okay, Trevor Engelson and Meghan. What are their feelings? You know, he just married. He's just stuffing it all down in the box, and she's just someone from the crowd now. Okay, he's not emotionally connected to her, and he's had to make a decision to just, whatever emotions he has, he just sticks them in the box and locks the box. I think he still does feel for her, and he is very upset, but he's just stuffed it all. Meghan just dropped him. Big change in the rooted relationship. She just dropped him. So we have Executioner and just dropped Trevor, and that's how she does it. And I actually think that, Meghan ghosting people is, using them and ghosting them. This is what's really causing her so much trouble, because people help her and then she does nothing in return for them. And she ghosts them. She just drops them like, yesterday's news. Okay, and that's what's upsetting people. That's what's upsetting Lizzie Cundy. That's what's upsetting Piers Morgan. Just pay them back. Do good deeds for them later. Because that's the contract. That's the social contract that she was working. And she can get away with a lot more of this because she's a beautiful woman. Because this kind of behavior, this entitled behavior, is very frequently demonstrated by women who look like Meghan. And almost very rarely, if ever, demonstrated by men, because men just can't get away with it. But women get away. Women who look like Meghan, they sure do get away with a whole lot more. But she's getting away with everything. She's not giving anything back. Okay, and now she's a duchess. She's in the royal palace. Boy, she could really give back. She could really, do some favors for people like Piers Morgan and Lizzie Cundy and all these people, and they would really love it. They would be really grateful, and they would overlook her faults and foibles. And that's not what she's doing. And I think that's what's causing her so much trouble now, is just dropping people and ghosting them. That's your royalty today. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.